Hi, this is Adrienne Oliver with Remax Universal. I wanted to come to you today with one of my notorious lists. This one actually pretty much has nothing to do with housing, but has to do with family, and we all have families and we're all kind of sheltering in place and staying home to try to minimize the spread. So I wanted to give you some tools to help you and your family during this time. So I'm going to be discussing 9 ways to cope with anxiety as a family during the COVID-19 pandemic. Again, this is probably good for all the time, but I think we are all kind of frayed and on edge and a little bit more anxious than we would be normally because, to be honest with you, nobody really knows what's going to happen, right? None of us have a crystal ball. So isolation can be worse for those that suffer with anxiety. Experts offer ways to work to ease their anxiety in quarantines together. I know that a lot of us have children who are doing online school. That's something that's new to them. That in and of itself can create anxiety. So I wanted to kind of come up with some helpful things. So one of the things that I wanted to say, first one, is focus on what you can control. So there's things that we can control during the pandemic, and there's things that we can't control, right? So we can't control this virus happening. We can't control what the media is reporting. We can't control the policies that the government's putting in place, and we can't control the financial market, right? So, but there's things that we can control. So let's focus on those, try to come together as a community, and your mini community as a family. And you can wash your hands. You can cough into your elbow or a tissue. You can practice social distancing when possible. You can engage in positive coping strategies, and you can do an outreach situation. These things help your mind at ease. You put your energy into something positive. So try to keep that in mind. Number 2 is take a break from social media. It's very easy to go down the social media rabbit hole. I think at this point, we're all super guilty of it, right? Oh my gosh, what are the numbers? How do they work? Whatever. So take a break from social media. There's nothing that can relieve instant stress faster than getting rid of the culprit immediately. So if you're with your family at home, set up a no phone hour or a no social media Saturday. Things like this will help disconnect the stressors and connect with the loved ones instead. I know for us, I kind of forced my children to do a family game night. We played a round of dominoes. At first they were a little resistant, but I think at the end we were all glad that we did it. So if you have a friend or a family member who's having some anxiety, we need to try to encourage them to step away from the internet. I know it's hard because we're all disconnected and the internet connects us, right? So that's wonderful, but it's also not wonderful in other ways. Actually, they've shown studies where it can increase things, uneasiness, insecurity, increase dread, and even doubt. So there's a lot of articles, and I can send you some of them, but that's one of the things that I think we should all do and practice. Number 3 is you could start a new hobby together, right? Maybe hop on the couch and binge a few shows on Netflix. TV is not necessarily the best way to combat symptoms of anxiety, but you could start a new hobby. So maybe take the mind off of them. My daughter yesterday wanted to do yoga. We totally yoga failed. And just in case anyone's wondering, she's not a yogi, but she tried to do couples yogi with me, and so tried to climb on top of me. It was very interesting. But anyway, so try doing that. Do a virtual book club. Set a tea time for you and your friends, something like that. So number 4 is make a schedule. I did this with my kids too because we're all trying to balance, working and homework and school, and mommy has to be on the phone and so-and-so has a test, right? So we're all trying to get that done. So we kind of posted schedules just as a template so we all kind of know, okay, now is lunchtime. Okay, now we're waking up, so that we don't have to constantly be on each other. It's an instant way of communication without a lot of the stresses that come. So add some new elements to your schedule, right? Maybe, family dinner or something like that. So add some new elements to that schedule to kind of make it fun. Practice self-care is the next one. Self-care is a great way to reduce stress. That's why it's important for you to encourage yourself, your partner, your child, for methods of self-care that works for them. So I know, at least in my home, I come in down almost every morning and I drink my cup of coffee and I listen to music, right? That's kind of my little self-care. Just kind of sit, be at peace. I also joined a meditation group with a bunch of other women that meets at 6:30 in the morning. That's another thing of self-care, right? Read a book, organize or clean a messy space, take a long bath with candles with soothing sounds. There's also meditation apps there's one called Timer, Calm, Headspace, and there's also apps that are perfect for children. So some of those are appropriate for adults and some of them are appropriate for them. I think I'm probably gonna end up doing a post on self-care for busy moms next, but self-care. Okay. Opt for at-home exercise. So something that I learned a long time ago when I was going through some stressors in life is that exercise releases endorphins, and it's a great way to naturally fight stress and anxiety and give your mind a break from everything. Do an in-home workout. I know both Orange Theory Fitness, Shred 415 are offering members classes to take at home. There's lots of YouTube videos, which my daughter enjoys being able to do that. There's also low cost and free classes on places like Daily Burn. You can also do something like this while keeping 6-foot distance, right? You could technically go out in your driveway and work out with your across the street neighbor. You need to go and get fresh air, go for a run or walk. Again, keep 6 foot away from anyone who's not in your immediate household. So that's great. If you have some extra money, the other thing that you could look into if you ever wanted to get a Peloton bike, not that I'm a big fan because their commercials are interesting, or a mirror. I know that right now they're offering huge discounts to buyers. This is kind of one of my favorite things to do. It's create happy hours, and anyone who knows me knows that I love a good happy hour, but I probably did a little bit too much of this, to be honest with you, last week, but I felt like I was on a happy hour every day. But create virtual happy hours. So Zoom, FaceTime, a lot of those things are able to do that. So Skype. So a good suggestion is to make one contact, one family member with one person daily. So if everyone takes one person, we can kind of help each other through this time. Remember that, you know, even though we're far apart, when we come together and we at least see each other, it feels the same-ish, right? It's good to laugh, and that, for me, always happens during my happy hours with my friends. You don't have to have an alcoholic beverage. You could even do one where you had like a theme beverage and everybody kind of did it. I know one of the things on my list is a quarantini, which is gin or vodka with a vitamin C like additive, right? So it can help you, reconnect on that. The other thing that you can do is focus on gratitude. So reflect on things that you're thankful for. This is something that I usually do when I'm stressed out. I'm trying to do it more. Is every morning when I wake up, I think of 3 good things. What are 3 positive things? Tell me something good today. Kind of sets your whole mindset right and helps you attack the day. They can be little things like, my family is safe today. That coffee was delicious. The future is unknown, so it helps to stay present, right? Say, what's going on today? What's great? For like today, for me, it's one of my really good friends' birthdays. That would be something that would be good. So the other thing that you could do is to try teletherapy. So there are, 24/7 hotlines. Talkspace is an app. Sanvelo is an app that you can communicate with during this time. So most therapists have gone to teletherapy, and insurers are consistently covering video sessions. So that's something that's great. So those are my 9 ideas to help you reduce your stress and anxiety as a family during this trying time. If you have any questions or feedback, or you want to share anything that's worked for you, I'd be more than happy to listen. My cell phone is 832-217-7141, and this is Adrienne Oliver with RE/MAX Universal. Thanks, bye.